Hello, what is up, crew? Welcome back to another episode of Free to Grow with Jerome and Baga. Today, we are in a new spot. We are in Dalhousie University, which is where I will be attending university studying medical science. Um, and yesterday was my first day, and it was so much fun that I did not drop an episode. But I did it on purpose. I did wish I said that. I did wish I said that in the previous episode, but I did not. But, anyways, yesterday was a very big day for me um, because I had been looking forward to moving to university since like the beginning of my life. Because, oh my gosh, there's so much noise outside. Hopefully, you guys can't hear that. But, anyways, I've been looking forward to moving to university for a super long time because I've always seen it as escape from all of like crazy stuff going on in my family, in my house and stuff. And so it was just so unbelievable that that day had finally come, because I had thought about yesterday for forever, literally every single day. Um, if you want to know more about my backstory, kind of go listen to the first episode. There's so much lore dropped there, and this will all make sense there. But essentially, I happy cried for the first time ever in my life. I thought that was only in the movies, but yesterday morning I woke up like back in Toronto and I was just so like happy, and it was like a sense of big relief for me. Um, and Dalhousie is definitely living up to the expectation. Um, I've met so many wonderful people. I've made like a bunch of friends already. I can't really remember a lot of names if I'm going to be completely honest, but I'm sure I'll get there. Um, I'm really liking my dorm also. It's pretty plain right now because I don't have any posters or anything, but I'm sure I'll go get some soon and decorate it up. But this is the spot so far. I also don't have any bedding because it's on the way. It's shipping here. It's coming here, I think, later today. So that'd be good. Um, but the point of this episode's going to be very short. Um, but the point of this episode is the importance of being ready for that moment. And I think it's important for me to talk about this because you guys actually don't understand how long I have waited for yesterday. It's like almost like a prisoner, like counting down the days until the end of the sentence. Like it has not, the thought of the day I move away from university has never left my mind for a single day. I guarantee you, every single day of my life, I have thought about it. Um, and so it was a very big moment for me, and that happy crying really allowed me to like let go of a lot of like stress I had in terms of like moving here, and just a lot of like built up emotions and trauma and all that kind of stuff. It was super great. So essentially, I got here. I'm going to get back to the main point, but let me give some context. Um, I flew out of Toronto yesterday morning, landed here, packed my room up. My roommate hasn't gotten here yet. I think he gets here today, so I'm excited to meet him. Um, so yeah, I packed my room up, and then I met a couple friends just like outside, and then in the dining hall during dinner, I met a couple friends. And then there were a couple like events and stuff in the dorm. There's like a lounge right across the hallway from me. So that was a lot of fun. There were a lot of people in there, and there was a dude like a DJ set, which was pretty cool. Um, and then the rest of the night, it was just a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun being with my friends outside. I met so many people, and I'm really excited, especially like to hang out with them in the daytime too. Especially, I'm hanging out with them now. But for a majority of my life, like the version of Jerome for a majority of my life, would not be able to enjoy this experience the way I am, the way I am doing it right now. And frankly speaking, wouldn't be able to enjoy this experience a lot at all because there's been versions of me that have been like very just like grumpy, sad face or whatever, not really trying to have fun. There's been versions of me where I was just also very scared and just like straight up like insecure, which is fine if you are. No hate or anything. But I just wouldn't have been able to appreciate this moment. And that was something I didn't realize for a very long time, because I had started thinking about moving away from university like since the very beginning of time, um, in like kindergarten. And I only started thinking about how I want to actually live in university, I want to say around grade 10. Grade 10 is when I realized, okay, I'm at a spot here. Oh, and also grade 10 is following, I'm pretty sure, maybe that's grade 9, following my story from Coburg, where I almost took my own life. For hear more, go listen to the first episode. Anyways, it was in that moment where I decided to live and all that kind of stuff, blah, 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 where it wasn't just about looking at goals into the future. It was more about, okay, once I get to these goals, how am I actually going to appreciate them? It doesn't have to be something as big as like moving away to university. It could be just like the simplest example, the way to put it, is like, let's say a test, right, in school. You say, oh, I really want to get like over a 90 on this test. I really want to get X% on this test. Saying that doesn't really do anything. And even if you do study, even if, let's say you study, you grind it all out, you're amazing and everything, you're ready. If you don't like sleep the night before, or you don't eat breakfast the day of, you're probably not going to do very well on that test. Maybe not as well as you could have. And so that's the point. I'm just trying to say that as much as it is important to focus on your goals and have long term, it's also important to to think about the kind of person you want to be once you get there so that you can fully appreciate it. Because, at least for me, going through a very beautiful experience and feeling like I didn't appreciate it enough is really not a feeling I like or enjoy very much. Um, it's human, and there are definitely different, like, what's it called, levels to it. I think there's like a normal level of you feel like you didn't appreciate things sometimes, but like when it's like to an extreme, or not to extreme, just above average, where you're just like, wow, I was kind of just like mad all the time. Why was I doing that kind of thing, you know? And so whatever thing you have coming up, whether that be tomorrow, or in a year's time, or wherever, just I encourage you to sit back, once again, look into yourself, analyze yourself, and be like, okay, if I were to have this job, or if I were to go on like this vacation, right? Let's say vacation, that's a good example. If I were to go on this vacation, let's say I want to go like Australia and I want to go scuba diving. That sounds super cool. Am I really in a place where like if I were to be going with friends, I would be sociable enough to like enjoy it with them and I wouldn't get like mad at them all the time? Would I be like athletic enough or fit enough to actually enjoy a scuba diving trip? Like all these factors where you can't just focus on the goal, you also need to focus on how you are going to be once you are there. And then once you decide the person you want to be, once you're in the situation, place, wherever, start working towards that. And that's how you fill up your time. If you are bored and you feel like you just like want to do something, you don't know where to start, that's where you start. If you have a goal and you don't 100% know how to chase it, just envision the type of person you want to be once you have attained that goal, and then start working towards that person rather than towards that thing. And I feel like that is better because you can never go wrong. Like, promise, you can never go wrong on trying to improve yourself. It doesn't even matter if like you are trying to improve yourself so you can like go scuba diving in Australia and then turns out you hate scuba diving. You're not going to go wrong because the improvements that you took away from that journey are priceless, and I'm sure they'll apply to other things. Where you will go wrong is if you decide to like stock up your money and not spend it on anything because you're saving for this trip to Australia to go scuba diving, and you get there and you just can't appreciate it because for whatever reason you can't appreciate it. You're just not being happy. You don't like scuba diving at all. You didn't train for it, like you're not built for it, anything like that. It's not worth it. And so along the way, let's say for example, for my trip for my scuba dive, I don't even know why I came up with this example, but for my scuba diving trip to Australia, let's say I know I'm the type of person where when I go on trips, I'm not the type of person, but hypothetically, if I go on trips with people, I tend to get really grumpy if I'm like in close quarters with them, right? If this, let's say this trip is like in the summer, right? So I have like 8 months, 10 months to get trained up for this. Um, if I spend the rest of the year trying to like not be as emotionally volatile, and try and train myself athletically for the scuba diving trip in Australia, and then the trip suddenly gets canceled, or I just decide I don't want to go scuba diving anymore, it is a win. It is a win because I came out a more emotionally stable person, more fit person. That's wins all around. You cannot lose trying to improve yourself. You cannot lose. Um, and so that personally relates to my journey because I did not know I was going to go to Dalhousie University, and it wasn't necessarily in my mind until I want to say like the past year. There were other schools that I've been thinking about for like a really long time, but Dalhousie kind of came out of the blue. But I'm so happy I came here because initially I really really wanted McGill because McGill is McGill. It's very cool. It's very fun. Very like academically prestigious and all that kind of stuff. Really cool school. And so for training myself in order to like be like in order to get into McGill, I was trying to focus on my studies. I was trying to become like a bit more of an outgoing person, more like friendly kind of thing, and just more centered in my life overall, while also having a bunch of different hobbies so I could be like a cool person. Did I end up going to McGill? No. Am I happy that I did not end up going to McGill? Yes. I can fully confidently say, yes, I am. I don't know why, but I just really, really, really like Dal. I really like where I am. Classes haven't started yet, but I feel like I'm just gonna love it, and I just feel like where I am, where I need to be, kind of thing. Um, and so I did not end up going to McGill, but the improvement I took along that journey allowed me to be like more an open-minded person, which has allowed me to experience Dal to the fullest and have an amazing, let's call it first day of freedom, if you will. Um, so that's all I have to yap about this Thursday. Sorry, this Friday, actually. Sorry about the delay, guys. I just really wanted to um, soak up yesterday because I've literally, like, I'm telling you guys, it was so fun, and I it I have been waiting for my moving away for like forever. And happy crying is honestly a very big thing for me because I don't really cry at all, and not really in like a macho way or whatever, but just because of like the way I grew up and how I constantly suppressed my emotions and I wasn't really allowed to cry. I can't really cry. Like if I end up crying, like have to be like from pain if I like break my leg or something. But I haven't cried in like many years. So to happy cry, that was a big one. That was a big one. Um, so yeah, your boy's having a lot of fun out here. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun wherever you guys are, and living life and being you guys. And yeah, so I will see you guys next Thursday. Um, Follow, comment, like, subscribe, whole shebang on whatever platform you're using. And welcome to the new space. It's almost like a new season, Halifax edition. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye bye.